Good evening, folks. Nice to see you. Hope you're all doing well. Having a bit of technical issues here. The box I see you all, or I see myself on, has moved out of position. Freaking me out. There we go. Got it back there. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Saturday. Happy Chord Dave Live Saturday evening. I hope you've all had a good week. They were sold out of Purple Haze, so we got the White Haze IPA. For tonight, to all of you, Slodja, happy Saturday. So yeah, a bit of a week. We'll talk about it. Well, some of the announcements were interesting, some of them not so much. As usual, Dave has had zero time, but that's all about to change. Chilled from next week, loads of time back on my schedule, so hopefully we'll actually get my videos out on time this week. And my Thursday video was delayed till Friday because of technical issues, so if you missed it on Thursday, sorry about that, but it did get out there yesterday finally. A bit of a nightmare, but hey, it got sorted, so we're all good. Hope you're all doing well. Glad to see you. We're all in the comments there already. Nice to see that. Couple of things I want to mention. I'll get into them later. Don't worry about it. Grandpa Joe was the first one in the comments there. Grandpa Joe, nice to see you. Thanks for popping along. You said, hope you're doing well. And you finally received a notice your stream was coming up today. Awesome. Glad you're getting the notifications. Yeah, it's one of those weird things with YouTube. I used to think back in the day, before I was a YouTuber, that if you subscribe to a channel, whenever they put out a video, it would be there. You could see it. And now that I can see the back end and I'm a YouTuber, I put out videos, very few people who are subscribed to the channel actually see that I've posted a video. So yeah, unless you've got that notification bell tapped and you choose all notifications just for this channel, you won't get notified unless you watch every single thing I put out all the way through to the end. So yeah, I'm glad you're getting those notifications. So I mean, sometimes it'll show you, but not always. But we're here every Saturday at the same time. Grandpa Joe, glad to have you as always. Scott Bogfoot is here. Glad to have you, Scott, as always as well. And you're having thunder. You rarely get thunder and lightning. Well, thunder, maybe AC/DC are nearby. I don't know. Yeah, glad you're here, Scott. Thanks for joining us again. Anyone here get any new guitars this week? Not for me, no. But there may be some in the near future. We'll see. It's depending on something I'll talk about in a little bit. And here's Glenn Bailey on his best behavior, of course. Glad to see you, Glenn. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, thanks for your picture and the Facebook group today. If any of you here have not joined the Facebook group, that's fine. But if you do pop along, you'll see some cool stuff there. Mostly posted by Scott Bogfoot because he's the master of the Facebook page. So Glenn, you say you got your PRS SE has finally arrived, the Custom 24, and you're waiting till tomorrow to open it. Yeah, that's always something people do. I don't tend to do it. Most of my guitars come from Germany, and the climate is pretty similar to here. Also, I just don't have the patience to do it. I did once, I think, leave a guitar in the box, and that was because two guitars came at the same time. I have no patience for stuff like that, though. Don't listen to a word I say on things like that. Let me see. So Glenn says he likes the new Harley Benton. I'm hoping they wait until the summer to release the Firebird, so I have time to save up for one. Yeah, so you're looking probably around between 250 to 300 for the Firebirds, I believe. They might even go up to 400 from what I'm being told. So there's going to be, my understanding is there's going to be two completely different variants. There's actually going to be a full neck through version. That's the one people are excited about. And then there's going to be just like a slab body, I don't know, studio version or something. I don't know what they're going to call it, but so that's what they're going to do. And there'll be like a cheap version, which I think is going to be 250 to 280, and then there's going to be the neck through, which is going to be at least 350 at least. So yeah, I think you do. I think you have until the end of May, but at the same time they could drop them next week. I have no way of finding that out with Harley Benson or anyone who will confirm it for me for sure. But yeah, I think we're definitely looking sometime in the next 6 weeks or so. So get saving. And it's not why I'm selling guitars at the moment. But yeah, by the way, if anyone is thinking of picking up one of those Harley Bentons, there's a link to Thomann in all of my videos. That's an affiliate link. You can click it, kicks back to the channel. How they work their affiliate program is they give me points, and once I have enough points, they'll let me buy some stuff with those points. So far, I think my points come up to something like 15 euros. So, and that's from quite a few purchases. So yeah, it's not great, but it's something, and it all helps with the channel eventually. And I should have used it. I bought some stuff from Thomann this week. They did not take my points. Damn it. So PRS is in the box. It's getting used to the temperature change. Big stickers on the box saying wait 24 hours before opening. Yeah, you know, I heard one guy make a comment, and this is, I justify myself opening boxes less than 24 hours with this, saying things like, yeah, cardboard box isn't going to keep the climate different inside the box. I don't know. I personally have never had an issue, but at the same time, I don't live in a place very different from the climate of places I'm buying guitars from. And, you know, also by the time they get to me, they've been in Ireland for 2 or 3 days at least. So anyway, everyone I think will have a different thing. I'm just an impatient person. Let's just put it that way. Scott leaves his for a few days because he lives in Newfoundland and the climate. Otherwise, you're taking it out is too much of a shock. Yeah, that's, well, in that case, then it's the thing to do. Glenn says, I'd like the pick guards on the new Harley Benton to be a little fatter. Yeah, there's 2 versions. You probably will get lots of people putting on like aftermarket pick guards to make them look more like the Johnny Ramone one. I'd say that's going to be a very popular mod, particularly on the blue one. But I get where you're coming from on that, for sure. The blue ones are really nice. I like them. Marsha's here. Nice to see you, Marsha. Thanks for popping by. Always good to have you here. And we're talking about climates still. Nothing like spending a week in a cube van, especially in Canadian winter weather. I'm on an island too, so twice as bad. Yeah, cube vans, they're the worst. But yeah, shipping guitars in Canada in the winter is nerve-wracking sometimes. Anything in Canada is nerve-wracking in winter. I was there, it was March when I got there, and it was the most wintry I've ever seen, especially in the mornings. The weather in Virginia has been crazy. 70 degrees 2 weeks ago, 50 past week. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. It was great 2 weeks ago here, and then it got really cold again, and it's April. People should turn up the heat. I don't know. Got to pay extra for it or something. But anyway, hopefully all your guitars are doing well. Let me see. Anne is here. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. TGWH says, Sláinte. Good to see you, TG. Thanks for dropping by. Chris from Coburg is here. Let's get it, he says. Hello, Dave. Hello, world. Hello to you, Chris. Good to see you, as always. And Andrew is here. Nice to see you again, Andrew. Thanks for popping by. Ken says he's behaving for now. We know that's not going to last. You're going to mention the other things that you mention sometimes. Remind us of things. That's what I'm saying. But it's all good, Glenn. You know, just stay in your best behavior for now. SB, nice to see you as always this evening. One more week. I escape Bonamaz's forehead. You can never really escape Bonamaz's forehead. But there you go. Marta says Glenn's only on his best behavior. Glenn's yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. James Everin, hi James, nice to see you. You say, what's up? You know what? It's been a weird week and it's been a weird day. A lot of stuff going on. But yeah, the whole live stream. I was nearly asleep 20 minutes ago, so I don't know how good this live stream, tonight's live stream is going to be. But there you go. Things are happening. So hopefully this will be good. If I'm not my usual self, I feel a little bit tired today. I don't know what's going on. But thanks for dropping by, James. Really appreciate it. Marsha's gone off to post the stream on Twitter, but it's probably back by now because, of course, I'm always behind in the comments. Let's see, who else is here? Who else have we got? Andrew says, still waiting on my PRS Silver Sky. I don't know what is going on with Sweetwater. Yeah, I think they're just, in some cases, I know certain colors were just back ordered. They couldn't get enough of them. So I can't remember which color it was you had bought there, Andrew, but hopefully you'll get it soon. And it's always worth reaching out to Sweetwater. They might be able to tell you something. Let's check this out here. It's pretty good. All right, guys, just in case you haven't noticed yet, or you haven't checked it out, or you went to check it last week and were like, hey, Dave lied to us. The following guitars are now up on Reverb. So the Radio Blue Epiphone Muse, which is in really good condition, hardly a mark on it. There's a couple of like play scratches, like you can tell it has been played, that's all, but it's not in bad condition. That's up there. I put it at the lowest price on Reverb for one of those. If you're interested, let me know before you buy it, or let me know on Reverb that you were on the channel, and we'll sort something out. Also, kind of regretfully selling this one, the Squier Contemporary Telecaster. Really dig it. It's a great guitar, but I'm just not picking it up as often as I thought I would, and that's probably because fairly soon after buying it, I also picked up the Flying V. So that has become my main guitar at the moment. So you can 100% check those out. I've tried to keep the prices decent on Reverb. Links to my Reverb store are in the links of all the videos in the description. So check them out. And if you're in the market for a guitar, or you want to pick up one of those, let me know before you buy one, guys. Especially say something like, I saw this guitar on Chord Dave Live and I want to buy it. Let's do something, and I'll take care of you lovely people. Just wanted to bring that up. I'll mention it for the people who are later arrivals later on as well. Marge says, I hit that thumbs up. I see lots of likes on the stream. When I come back, I want to see lots of likes on the stream when she comes back. Hopefully you haven't disappointed Marsha. That would be scary. She'd be angry with you, and you wouldn't want Marsha to be angry with you. So yeah, hit that like button. Thanks, folks. SB says, I'm so in love with the Squier U-neck. I'm thinking about getting an Ash Telly body and making a Telly Strat hybrid, but in Squier form with one Duncan pup. That's an interesting project to take on, yeah, for sure. SB would love to know how you get on with that. So if that's something you go along with, and look, it's great. I always think people fall in love with spec sheets, and it's like, oh, that's the greatest things in sliced bread, and often try something a little bit different and you like that better. So like in that case, you found you loved the U-neck, brilliant. And if you can get it on other guitars or add it to other guitars yourself, that's brilliant. But yeah, so many people just say, C profile. It's like, there's other profiles. I do like a C profile as well, but it's sometimes you just gotta try these other ones out. Very cool stuff there. Glenn says, with Gibson losing its last couple of lawsuits, do you think they will bother with Harley Benton? They should be worried about copyright infringement on their new hat line. Yeah, I think when it comes to Gibson, I think they get some sort of kick out of the lawsuits. I don't know why. I think, it's one of those things where I think when they really look back on this in a few years' time, they'll be like, oh, we were kind of dicks when we did that. But, as well, you got to look at it from the point of view of it's all marketing. So if they raise a lawsuit and, however, even it doesn't matter how much it costs, it's all gets people to look at Firebirds or Les Pauls or whatever and go, is it the same? And they get more hits on their website, they get more hits on their Reverb page, on their mod collection page, and all that sort of stuff. And more people check out Gibson videos and things. And so it all brings in more revenue. I know that's kind of a cynical way to look at it, but there has to be a reason why they keep bringing up these lawsuits, and they know they're not going to win many of them. So yeah, it's a case where I think they will. So pretty much my expectation is when these Harley Benton Firebird copies come out, pick one up as soon as you can if you're interested in one, because they won't last. They will have to take them down, and then there'll be a whole thing. And if I remember correctly, a few years ago, Thomann completely stopped selling Gibson guitars. They were listed, but they had no stock, and they weren't refreshing stock. And it was for like, God, it must have been either like 9 months to a year, and it was because of a lawsuit as well, because the Harley Bentons were the single cuts were just too close. Like they were exact body shapes. They were, I think the headstock was very close as well. They had to change those. That was a good few years ago though. It's maybe going back 9-10 years ago. And Harley Bentons were crap at the time, so I don't know why they bothered. But anyway, just getting back to it, I think Harley Benton are going to make enough changes where they're not going to have too much trouble with a lawsuit. But as I said, at the same time, Gibson will still slap one on, because it's like their hobby. Like my hobby is doing YouTube and playing a bit of guitar. Theirs is doing lawsuits and making I don't know, hats, as you said. So there you go. Stephen Fraser, nice to see you, Stephen. Thanks for dropping by. How important is neck binding on a Gibson Explorer? I think it just comes down to personal taste, to be quite honest with you. Binding on a neck is not important to me. It's nice to have, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely nice to have on any model, but it's not essential. It wouldn't be a deal breaker for me if I found a nice one. My V, for example, doesn't have neck binding. So yeah, it wouldn't put me off buying one. So yeah, I think it just comes down to personal choice. I'd be interested actually to find out what the rest of you guys think on that. Because I think it's one of those where it very much comes down to personal preference. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having neck binding. It just wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. Anthony, nice to see you, Anthony. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So what are your thoughts on new guitars costing more and used guitars going down in price? Is the plummeting used market going to affect new guitar sales enough to force new prices to come down? Great question, Anthony. And I think that's one that could probably run for the rest of the show. To be honest, in terms of new guitar prices, they're just going to keep going up. And there's going to be a lot of value in the secondhand market, the used market. I check out Reverb a lot. I've kind of stepped away from it for a little bit because I don't want to buy anything until at least the end of this month. But so I haven't been checking it on a daily basis, but I am on there quite a bit still. And I can see, yeah, prices are coming down, but they're coming down on certain models, and other models they're actually still quite high, from what I can see. And for example, there was a couple I put in my watch list a few months ago. They're still there, but the pricing has gone up on them, or the pricing on similar models has gone up. And I think that's a bit unusual because a lot of other things in the used market is coming down. To answer your question, will used prices affect new prices? Not at all. The companies do not care what the used market is doing. The likes of Gibson, they only care how much can they get. If they can get an extra 5%, they'll absolutely get that extra 5%. If they feel like there'll be too much of a backlash, they won't do it. I do still think, and I think I mentioned this towards the end of last year, I think we're still going to see not so much a cheaper line of Gibsons, but we're going to see something more close to the 12, 13, $100 mark from Gibson, maybe like a junior range or something, like a revamped junior range by the end of the year. So they're going to try and do something to offer lower prices, but what you're getting for that lower price will be a lower quality of instrument. So keep an eye out for that. And I think you're going to see the used market fluctuate quite a bit. It's going to go down, it's going to come back up, it's going to go down. And it depends as well on demand. So something like Silver Skies are just so popular, you're not going to get them being super cheap for the ones that are still in high demand, like the limited colors and so on. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just settled down. But you know what'll happen? Like it does every year, the market will ramp up in quarter 4 and it'll get crazy again, and then it'll die down in January next year. So anyway, we could keep talking about that. And if any of you guys have some opinions on that, throw it in to the comments, because I think it's a great question from Anthony. The one thing I can say for sure, without any shadow of a doubt, is that guitar prices from new guitars will keep going up. because corporations. That's why. Let me see. Muddy H2O, nice to see you, Muddy. Always glad to see you. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. You were saying to Stephen, neck binding is totally a personal preference thing. Very cool person called Chord Dave just said that. But I do appreciate that we have the same opinion there. Personally, I prefer the feel of a neck without it, but binding does look nice. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, you're spot on for that. Me personally, I have a couple of guitars with neck binding. Do they get played more? No. So yeah, it's nice to have. It's not a deal breaker. And Scott says to SB, are square necks interchangeable with Fenders or different bolts? I think some of them can, from what I remember. I haven't tried changing one out in a long time, but I think the case is, yes, some of them can be. Or you can adjust, like obviously put in the different bolts and so on. Anyway, I could be completely wrong on that. That's happened before. I was wrong once. Can't see me clearly. I don't know. It's maybe that's a good thing. Money, not sure. But yeah, don't worry about not typing. I type for a living and I can't type most days. So there you go. Glenn says, I'm here to help others from making bad, stressful decisions like looking into the sun and buying Gibson guitars, not to make comments about that thing in the place referenced by that band. By the way, that band are doing a resurrection tour because, of course, they've a new bass player now. I don't think I know who the new bass player is, but yeah, I saw that referenced the other day. I was like, I should really buy tickets for that show. But yes, absolutely, absolutely, that band shall be referenced later, I'm sure. Greetings all, says Al. Nice to see you, Al, and thanks for dropping by. We always appreciate having you here. Caught me unawares as I expected it on an hour from now. Wow, that's what's the usual time, Al. So hopefully it's yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's the usual time. I think what happened was last week it was a different time, maybe daylight savings time. I'm not sure when that actually went back because days just slipped by me at the minute. I'm not quite sure what's happening. It's getting closer and closer to the end of the month. That's all I know. Payday comes at the end of the month, so that's cool. That's coming quicker every month. Scott says, sometimes if you get a separation on the fretboard and binding, then it's a bad thing. Less to go wrong if it's not on the neck to begin with, in his opinion. That's a good point, Scott. Yeah, less to go wrong. And then if you need to refret further on down the line, it's less of a problem because obviously fret nibs and stuff like that on a Gibson, they don't put fret nibs back on when they do a what you call it, a refret. You guys are telling me, I just see a comment there from the Butterfly Effect saying the picture is not focused. It looks focused and it is saying it's focused. So let me know if that's still an issue once I get down to the comments there. It might be an issue with YouTube. Let me see. Stream settings. I'll just be a second, guys, looking at this. No, it should be fine there. All right. Looks to be, maybe it was an issue and it sorted itself out, guys. I don't know, but as I said, do let me know if I see any comments there saying I'll maybe restart the stream. See if we can get that back and running because it looks good to me from here, but who knows? YouTube, it's a pain. Anyway, let me see. SB says, yeah, thank you, sir. The only C profile I dig is coffee. Coffee's a good one. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a bit of coffee. Glenn says, Andrew, all other finishes come in, but the one I wanted called Sweetwater and found out it would be late September. I decided to go with another finish to definitely give them a call. So yeah, and that's for Andrew's missing his Silver Sky. So hopefully, yeah, give them a call, because I've dealt with Sweetwater like 3 times in my life, and every time I have, they've been on the ball, 100%, really good. So glad that Glenn is recommending that as well, because I'd give them a call. If I had a problem with Holman and something similar, I'd be like, dudes, where's my guitar? And they'd tell me, you got to be patient. And I'd be like, I don't want to be. So, Money H2O with the super chat. And sir, with the super chats, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You are the most generous person in the Chord Dave community. You're saying it's focused now. You sexy bish. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad it's focused for you and that you can see all of the loveliness of this mise en scène, as we say in the biz. Anyway, yeah, same thing happened last week. I thought Ireland doesn't change clocks anymore since 2021. Oh, we do. And it seems they did for 2022, just not the same week as the USA did. It's never the same week as the USA did. It hasn't been for a long, long time. And I know that because I've been constantly in contact with somebody in the US for the last 10 years. And we always have the same problem where, like, you're supposed to call me at 9 o'clock. Sorry, it is 9 o'clock. I was like, no, it's not. But yeah, it actually, I think it's 2 weeks later after the US, usually is what happens. So yeah. But yeah, we're still changing our clocks. Don't know why. It's stupid. And Muddy H2O says, agreed, and even more so with Gibson's fret nibs. Try getting a fret job done with those. Pain in the arse. A lot of things with Gibson are a pain in the arse. So for sure, hopefully they'll stop being a pain in the arse at some point. I don't foresee that happening. That's something that I can tell you. Chris says, I have a J Mascis Jazzmaster that I hardly ever play. I love it, but I usually play a Strat or a Tele. Keep or sell? They are discontinued. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Scott, I'm selling guitars because I'm not playing them. That's just my personal thing. It means that I'll be able to play more guitars, buy more guitars and play them. I don't have a lot of space to keep 10 guitars at the moment, which is what I have. So I need to move some on. And by selling them, it'll mean I can buy new ones and still have not enough space. But yeah, I can't really buy more until I make space. So that's what we're going to do. And while I live in this house, the collection is limited to 10. So if you have room and you want to keep it because you like it, keep it. And if you feel like you might get joy out of something else, I would sell it or trade it for something else. That's just my own personal opinion. Interested to know what other guys think as well. So drop that in the comments, guys. What would you do if you had a guitar you liked, but you weren't playing it? Would you hang on to it anyway, or would you move it on for something that you might play a bit more? I think it's a good question. Let me see. Scott says, I think binding is a throwback from when it was needed. These days, glue and construction-wise, it's not needed. So it's a look, that craftsmanship thing. Studios don't fall apart without it. That's true. That is true. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know. I think a lot of things guitar-wise still hark back to the 50s and 60s. So it's not a bad thing. But yeah, you're right. It's not necessary, but it's a nice thing to have at the same time. I do appreciate the look of a guitar with binding. I never really miss it though if it's not there. So yeah, I never really noticed that before, that I didn't miss it. So great question from Stephen, to be honest. John says, cheers. Hate it when I'm late. There's no such thing as late around here, John. Keep saying it. We're here when we're here, and there's no late. There's definitely no early. Not for me anyway. So glad to have you here, John. Thanks for popping by. Marcia says, Chris, I love Jazzmaster body shapes, so asking me will not get you a neutral response. I'd say keep it. How much is the J Mascis worth? Did the value go up at all? I think the value did go up on those. To be honest, pretty cool guitars. I like the sparkly blue finish on them. Blue is always a good color in my book. Stephen says, does Epiphone die Indian Laurel fretboards? I think they do. I'm not 100% though on that. So yeah, if anyone knows for sure. Somebody told me that the Epiphone were dying maple. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but yeah, somebody sent me a message saying that Epiphone are putting out dyed maple necks, which I hadn't seen. Anyone seen those? Let me know if you have in the comments. Yeah, that's what they're called. Chris says to Marge, yeah, it's a tough one. They are going up for sure, but I'm not looking to make money, although don't mind if it does. Probably keep. It's a cool guitar for sure, Chris. Yeah, that is a very cool one. And, you know, if you're interested in keeping a jazz band, you know, I always find that my taste will change. So, like, my go-tos right now are my PRS Custom 22, my SE Custom 22, and Flying B. And the stuff that I've bought to work on my V is coming next week. So that's going to be out of action for a while I do the upgrades and make the changes that need to be done to it. Although I don't actually think one of the parts is coming. But still, it needs a little bit of work. So that's going to be out of commission for a couple of weeks. So the Custom 22 will be there. But 2 months ago, it would have been the SG Special. You know, the Les Paul gets played a little bit less. I play the Telecaster, the Harley Benton Telecaster every day when I'm at work. So, I mean, on breaks and stuff while at work. And you know, so it rotates. I rotate, like even in the Harley Benton Strat that I have as well, that comes in. And it just sometimes it just feels like the right one to pick up is the one that I hadn't been playing. So you never know. It might just swing back around and you might play a lot more in time. Tastes change even within your own collection. But anyway, hopefully you'll make the right decision you're happy with. That's the main thing. Scott says, has neck binding on Strats ever been a thing? Don't know enough about Strats to know if it has, to be honest. But yeah, for sure, it's an interesting one. I'm sure there's Strats. The Strats always look weird when they do have binding, or not binding, but like different necks. So let me know, guys, if you think I don't know Strats enough to answer that properly. Muddy with yet another super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, and it's always very welcome. So thank you so much. Blue isn't always a good color, David, especially on us fellers, huh? I don't know. I mean, you know, blue is a color I like for my guitars. That's all I'll say on that one. It could be worse. It could be worse. But but thank you, sir, for the super chats. You are most kind, and it is greatly appreciated. By the way, t-shirts are going quite well. You've only got a couple of weeks left to pick up one of these ones, the Freebird Special Edition t-shirt. Yeah, as you can see, it says Freebird. It's green. It has gold text in that very original font that it was not ripped off from a certain guitar company, and the other writing that you can't see in the picture says 3 Chord Dave, as in it's supposed to look like it's a quote of mine, which it most certainly is. The last band I shouted at a live concert was a band from Dublin called The Thrills, who were supporting the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the Phoenix Park in Dublin many moons ago. It was it was actually a terrible gig. The Chili Peppers did not want to be there. They were like, I think it was their last gig on their tour, and they were just fucking sick of being on the road, and they just phoned it in, and the sound was awful, and the Thrills were awful. But the Pixies played as the main support, and they were very cool. It was great to see the Pixies. So yeah, at least it had one saving grace. There you go. So yeah, shouted Freebird at a few bands in my younger days. 26th of the month, that's when that's coming down. So you got a couple of weeks still. Dennis Flock, nice to see you, Dennis. Glad to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Just got a new Gretsch Double Jet from Sweetwater, one of the mid-priced Chinese models. Nice fit and finish, my first Chinese made. I'm pleasantly surprised. Also $70 in bonus cash from Sweetwater. Those Gretches are very cool. I like the look of them a lot. It's a brand I've pretty much no experience with in terms of ever owning one, and I'd like to. So yeah, glad to know that it's come in. The fit and finish is great, Dennis. That's pretty cool. Maybe towards the end of the year I'll get to pick one up. Hopefully. I'm looking forward to some of the stuff they've got, to trying them out, because they make some very, very nice guitars. And of course, it's all under the Fender umbrella. It's interesting, the agreement they have with Fender for production of guitars and the distribution of guitars, but they absolutely make some very nice guitars. So glad you're liking it. At $70 bonus cash from Sweetwater. Again, like, I don't know how Sweetwater works that, but does that mean you get to spend $70 on something at Sweetwater? Because that's cool if that's something they do. Um, Also, I'll have to get them to start shipping me stuff if they are giving away money and credit like that. That'd be cool. Anthony says, hard to spend $1,200 on an entry level Gibson when there are dozens of companies that offer way more bang for that price range. Yeah, I think, those lower end Gibsons, it's the brand name appeal. It's the I own a Gibson, and there is something a little bit different about playing a Gibson. I think maybe mentally you feel, hey, I'm playing a Gibson. You feel a little bit like good about yourself or whatever. I don't know. It's a vanity thing maybe. But I get 100% what you're saying. I actually think there's Epiphones are a better buy at that level. For a higher end Epiphone versus a lower end Gibson, you're going to get a much better guitar with the Epiphone. So especially when they've got Gibson pickups in them nowadays. So yeah, I 100% get you. And even within that same company, you want the same shape and all that sort of stuff. Just bear in mind, there will always be minor differences, minuscule body shape body size differences and measurement differences and stuff. But that's to be expected, I suppose. But you're 100% right there, Anthony. Yeah. I'm not too interested in what Gibson are doing with that lower end price range, but I believe they've got something coming soon. Probably over the summer, we'll see a new range. Now again, juniors and specials should be cheap anyway, so it'd be nice to see them do something good in that price range. Let's see what we've got here. We haven't even really spoken about the Harley Bentons, but we will in a bit, because you saw my video I did yesterday. John says, I was thinking about the scale length was a problem. The Strat scale length was a problem. What about a short scale Harley Benton or a Mustang or a Jazzmaster style 24? Interesting. Yeah, the scale length's a problem. Did I miss a comment about scale lengths? Didn't see that. Maybe you can let me know. Dennis says he's from Chicago. Nicest. Thanks for joining us all the way from Chicago, Dennis. Yeah, lots of cool music has come from there. I know. I think Chicago, for some reason, obvious reason, reminds me of the Blues Brothers because, Sweet Home Chicago and all that. Muddy says there are some out there. The Rosewood EJ Strat comes to mind. That's with binding on them. Yeah, they did a thing in the mod shop with Fender, and they had, I think, a neck with binding on it for a short time. It just looked super weird. And Scott has written in, go Blackhawks. And I have no idea what that means. Blackhawk helicopters? I don't know. So is it a thing? A team or something? Channel bound. That's the one. Channel bound Strat necks are beauties. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. They had those on the mod shop. They just looked so unusual and weird to me. I mean, look, some people like him and everything. Mercer says, John, 25.5 is a problem for me, but I still appreciate other people who can play them effortlessly and make me look like the amateur I am. I hear you. I mean, people play any guitar make me sound like an amateur, so it's all good. Glenn says, sounds nice, Dennis. I don't own a Gretsch. A friend of mine has, and he loves it. They're very cool, very nice, beautiful looking guitars. I do want to get my hands on one. John says, coming soon, Dave's Pub and the whole Glory Band. I'll drink to that. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Glenn says, your birthday is coming at the end of the month. Also, my friend. It is. It's also on payday, so that's pretty convenient for me. Yeah. I was born on payday. It's nice. So yeah, it's going to be fun. 2 weeks away from this week, I will turn 40. If you are new to the channel or didn't know, so that's when I'll be doing the reveal of the proper reveal of the Flying V, by the way, because the Tuesday, the 26th, will be the Flying V's 40th birthday. So on that Tuesday, I'm going to release a video going through the Flying V, explaining what I'm going to do with it, how I'm going to change it. It will be changed at that point as well. So I might show some of the changes that have been made to it and work that still needs to be done to it. But overall, yeah, just running down the 40-year-old Flying V. So it'll be on the 26th. I say it's going to be on the 26th. I haven't filmed anything for it yet, but that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the birthday is fast approaching. Actually, my first birthday present arrived this week, and it's some very cool. I know, can you see these? It's a pick. Come on, get on the focus on this. It doesn't want to. But it says 3-chord Dave. Can I get it in focus? No. So 3-chord Dave is stamped onto it, which is very cool. It's on my Instagram. I have an Instagram, believe it or not. I haven't posted on it since last summer. But you can check that out in focus and everything. So yes, first birthday present arrived. It was very cool. And thank you to the person who sent me those. It was a fun one. And yes, they're silver. Yes, I played a guitar with them. Yes, it was the cheap guitar, because just in case. And they sounded great, to be honest. It did make a really cool sound from them. So yeah, I was playing some Jimmy Page riffs, thinking I was cool. My neighbors are probably glad I have headphones. So and a Mustang Micro. In fact, I know they're glad, because I used to piss them off quite a bit. Anyway, Dennis said it's in focus for me. Cool. Yeah, picture started out blurry but seems good now. I think that was a YouTube problem. YouTube is am I allowed to say a bad word about YouTube? Probably not. YouTube is a bleep. It really is. As I said, like, on YouTube, you would just assume if you're subscribed to a channel, every time that channel puts out a video, that video would end up in your feed at some point. That doesn't happen. And I know many of us have many subscriptions, so it might not even be possible. But it's not even guaranteed. If you watch my video today, that when I put my next one out, you'll get a recommendation or see it in your feed. You might not see me for months and be like, where did that Dave guy go? And then I just appear again. And you're like, oh, he's still here. I thought he gave up on YouTube. So, YouTube is a right pain. If any of you are on YouTube or you're doing YouTube, just know we're all suffering with it. It's a right pain in the arse. But anyway, moving swiftly on. SB says, yeah, it can be, it can be. I'll use a blank body so I can drill the glory holes from the square neck. And I have to round the neck pocket of a telly body because tellies have a square heel and tellies are square. Strats are square, maybe. I know, but very cool. If you're going to do that, yeah, look, it's not the most difficult thing to adjust. But if that's what you want to do, that's super cool. And if it fits you, that's all that matters. John says, my birthday was yesterday, April 8th. Cheers to you, John. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining us day after your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Yeah, congratulations. You're looking well for a man of 27, John. So thanks for stopping by. Dennis says, Mike Gretsch is 24.6, slightly shorter than the Gibson scale. Very cool. Yeah, it's interesting, the scale length question. I never look to see what mine are. I obviously I do. I mean, I haven't played a baritone. So it's Gibson and Fender pretty much has been where I've bounced between, so hasn't been that difficult. But there you go. Let's see. March says, who else comes for Muddy H2O super chats? Let's be real. I mean, it's kind of putting me down saying that, but it's fine. I'm sure he comes here. You come here for some other reason, but yeah, I appreciate Muddy H2O for sure. Yeah, it's always cool to receive super chats on live streams. Thank you, sir. And yeah. Anyway, John says short scales around 20 inch and the Mustang is 24 inch. So, the Mustang would be what I would think of for short scale most of the time. Robert says, morning all. Sorry for the late arrival. Didn't get in until 2 a.m. Now I'm up watching the stream. Bloody madness. I'll be growing a beard next. Robert, that's dedication. Thank you so much for getting up so early on your Sunday, especially after being out late. That is madness. But yeah, the tips for growing a beard, just don't shave it. People will be like, it's about time you shave that fucking beard. And you just got to say, no, I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. And then one day you wake up and you're like, Jesus, I kind of could audition for ZZ Top. So if that opportunity arises, I'm ready. Al says, I heard the US Congress discussing doing away with changing clocks. Hope they keep it where the sun is up later rather than sooner. I've heard that for many years over here. Al, yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but hopefully, because it's a pain when it does happen. And there's always people going to saying, I was late for work because the clocks went back or because the clocks went forward or whatever the thing is. That people always use it as an excuse for being late for things or for whatever reason. Not a big fan of it myself, and the fact that it happens at different times here and in the US is not helpful either. William Forrest says, yo Dave, how are you doing? Doing pretty good, William. Thanks for asking. How are you? Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Excuse me. Marcia says, wow, there are 20-inch scale length guitars. Smallest I ever spotted was 23. Wow, that's like a uke. Thanks for teaching me a new fact. Yeah, there's mini guitars. So yeah, that's interesting actually. It's a good point. Anthony says, I'd love to hear the guitar to keep it. I have to love the guitar to keep it. Too many choices to keep anything less. Yeah, for me it comes down to whether I play it enough. And like I'm pretty good at picking up guitars on rotation, but occasionally a guitar just falls out of that rotation, and then after 3 months or so it's like, I should move it on. So it's been a while. I haven't sold anything for the best part of a year, so now it's time to move stuff again. So yeah, as I mentioned, those two, they're on Reverb, they're there, they'll probably sell pretty soon, and if they don't, I'll just be like, I'm meant to keep them, because that's what I did last time with the Muse, because it's a great guitar. The only reason I'm selling it is because I'm not playing it, and someone who wants to play it should have it. Let's see. John says, moving up to Oregon next year. Wish me luck. Very cool. Been working with people from Oregon a lot the last couple of weeks, so they all seem like nice people. So hopefully you'll run into some nice people when you get there. Glenn says, I just got rid of 2 guitars, sold one, traded one for an orange Micro Terror and an 8-inch cab. I like them both, but I was just not playing them. One was saved from being traded in, but I still didn't play it. There you go. Yeah, if you're not playing it, you may as well do something with it. But then again, eventually my goal is to have a huge collection that I guess it'll be impossible to play all the time, but there you go. But yeah, good. I think we're on the same page pretty much on that one. Then it says, I've seen baked maple fretboards and necks. I don't think maple takes die very well. PRS die maple, anything maple. I saw a video that they did recently, or maybe it could have been a while ago now, where they were like, basically, if it's maple, they dye it. They can put any color, do any design, anything you want on it. So so it definitely can be done with maple. Maple tops and stuff like that get dyed all the time. So in terms of fretboards, like that, the Telecaster, I'm pointing that way, even though you can't see it, but I can. Telecaster, contemporary Telecaster has a roasted maple neck, which is beautiful, and it's a really nice neck. That's a really cool thing to have, and I'll be looking to add at some point another roasted maple neck to the collection, but we'll see. It might be a while though, because it's not on the next 3 things I'm looking to pick up. Pau Ferro doesn't take dye well either. It looks, they always look super light. Yeah, people love or hate Pau Ferro. I don't have a strong opinion on it one way or the other, but yeah, I haven't really seen it dyed too much, but yeah, you're probably 100% right on that, I would imagine. SB says, I do the same with my guitars while I work. Yeah. Yeah, while I have some downtime or something. Not that I sit there playing guitar when I'm supposed to be writing stuff for work. Anyway, um, so I'm gonna get like a warning or a memo in work saying like, could you please remove all of your guitars from your office? Uh, that's I can see that coming in Monday morning. That says, ask your Sweetwater rep what short scale guitars they have. That's a good idea, absolutely. And Scott says, I got a baked maple neck guitar recently that has gun oil finish. Just feels satin to me. Yeah, they do kind of feel satiny. That's true. Um, so very interesting. Yeah, good call there for starts. Money with yet another super chat, sir. You are too good to me. I just wanted to let you know. I don't deserve you, but there you go. Thank you so much. He says, I'm ashamed to say I do not own a 3-chord David shirt. However, I'm not ashamed to say it's because I prefer to watch Topless. Oh, oh, and Glory Hole. Yeah, thanks. Well, listen, don't be ashamed. It's completely fine to watch Topless. I encourage it, in fact. So, but thanks. Don't worry about the shirts. There's some cool ones coming over the summer. So, by the time the winter rolls around, I'm sure you'll see something you might want to pick up. But who knows? And whatever way you want to watch, you're completely cool with it. Yeah. Al says, new guitar day. My favorite day. Used 2017 Fender Clapton Blackie off reverb. Had concerns with string close to edge of fretboard. Music Zoo gave me a discount and then another credit. The boost is amazing. Very cool guitar, Al. Yeah, that's awesome. So how did it all work out though? Has it like, is there an issue? Are you going to get it fixed, or do you even need to get it fixed? Let us know on that. It was cool. You get discounts and credits and a new guitar. Pretty cool if you ask me. Glenn says, before you get rid of a guitar, make sure you're at peace with it or you'll regret it. I sold a 1971 Gibson bass 30 years ago and I still regret it. Yeah, those decisions, there's a couple in the past that have gone out and I have regretted them for sure. But at the same time, they led me to picking up other stuff. So, because I've always pretty much bought and sold times. So yeah, I think that's a very good point. Make sure you're okay letting it go, because otherwise you'll end up sad. Like you say, regretting for 30 years something. But and embrace the positives. It'll bring something new to you. Muddy says, congrats, Al. Those are great strats. And how are you getting along with the vintage style frets? Yeah, they appear to be awesome strats. So, yeah, definitely interested to hear that. And Scott says, at worst, it's just a bad nut. So there you go. If it's just a bad nut, that can be fixed easy peasy. Even I can do that one. So there you go. Al, black Strat. I've always wanted a black Strat. Sweet. Absolutely enjoy it. Yeah, for sure. And let's see, Marcia says, I wouldn't even know if I could play one. I've gotten so used to 24.75 inch. Maybe Sweetwater needs a free try before you buy program. They send a beaters to try. Would help lots of new players. I also feel like lots of new players would not send their guitar, their trial one back, because people don't do that. But yeah, so that's actually not a bad idea. I mean, that's the benefit if you can getting into a local guitar store and trying stuff out. I'm sure people who live by Sweetwater can actually go there, I believe. Same with Thoman. You can just walk in and walk around their store, and they have everything out on display. So, I mean, not everything, but it's a guitar store, a music store. So, yeah, kind of feel like occasionally, is it in Indiana? Anyway, that would be a place to move to. Dennis says, just ordered a shirt, must have. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate that. That's super cool. Just in case, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but every cent that comes in, whether it be from Muddy's super chats or from sales on the shirts, does eventually find its way back into the channel, because it'll either be gear for the channel or review stock or something like that. So it'll always come back to the channel. That's what it's about. And buying a house in the Bahamas or something. So, you know, savings. That one might take a while. Al says, it took a little time, but it feels great. It's to get used to the frets there, I believe, the vintage style frets. Chris from Coburg, high-end Epiphone or low-end Gibson? For me, it's high-end Epiphone. I think I mentioned earlier. Yeah, you're getting those, like stuff like the 61 SG, the 59 Les Paul. You're getting Gibson hardware, well, Gibson pickups, and a better made guitar than you're getting with the lower end Gibsons, I believe. And also, it's I just think you're getting a higher spec. So for me, definitely the higher end Epiphone. When it comes to that, Alan says different necks, frets just takes a little while. That's very true. And Marcia agrees with me, says high end Epiphone for sure. Anthony says, I had 2 Gretches and I sold both. We just didn't get along. Well, there you go. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Sometimes you just don't vibe with a guitar you pick up. Definitely had a few down the years that felt that. With the most recent one where I just felt this isn't for me was the Nancy Wilson Nighthawk. Was that last year? I think it was. The Namshad, yeah, bought one as soon as they were announced. It arrived, you know, as soon as it could get here, and straight out of the box I was like, it's a nice guitar. It is a very nice guitar, but it just wasn't me. I don't know, it just wasn't feeling like something I would come back to. So I moved that on straight away. Returned it, I think. Yeah, I returned that one straight away because I just didn't. I made a video about it and so sent it back. But yeah, that can happen. Sometimes you just don't vibe with something. For me, it has happened only a few times, thankfully. Glenn says high-end Epiphone is the way to go. Definitely, and I think it's only going to get better, the high-end Epiphones. So fingers crossed. I think that's where, as I've been saying for the last year or so, they're trying to up the Epiphone game and make sure there's something available for everybody in the Epiphone range. So whether you want to spend 1,000 or you want to spend 500 or you want to spend 100, 150, there's going to be something for you there. Trying to take back some of that Squire market, to be quite honest with you, and they got a good shot at it. Let me see. There's such a thing as gun oil finish. I've never seen that before. Yeah, I don't know what that is off the top of my head, to be honest, but it must be a thing because Scott has a guitar with it. So sure. Scott says, I'm an Epiphone super fan, but a better question is, would you spend high-end Epiphone money for a body shape that is Epiphone exclusive? That's a very interesting question. So I think I would, to be quite honest with you. Because I like Epiphones as a brand. I do think it's pretty cool. Like the history of Epiphone and everything. But what are we looking at? Like Sheratons or something? Or I mean, casinos are great, obviously. I would probably for a casino, a good casino, vintage correct casino, not like the Gibson casinos or the USA made casinos. They're not vintage correct at all. And made a video about that and had to take it down. I was being abused by casino fans so much. So a lot of people were like, yeah, you're right, you're 100%. And adding a couple of things that I'd missed that weren't era correct as well. But I was just so sick of all the negativity on that video, I took it down. It's only one of 2 videos I've ever taken down off the channel. But the thing with that is sometimes, you know, people just get too affected by the name. Interesting though, Scott, what would your favorite Epiphone exclusive body shape be? I think I really like the Wildcats. I think those would probably be my go-to. As I think about it more, yeah, probably in terms of newer stuff, it would be the Wildcats. Those are great. March says, I love that John is shopping for me. Personal shoppers are great. Now we just need to find some money and I'm all set. Yeah, if we all had a bit of money, that'd be great. But yeah, personal guitar shoppers. I wonder would that work as a service? Probably not, because they'd eventually get you something you didn't want. Sweetwater, bright red. All right, sweet. Let's see. Oh, Glenn says a Black Hawk hockey team. Oh, great, cool. And then let's go Caps, which I presume is another team. Um, well, look, teams and sports are very specific, and I don't know what um, team the Caps play for, or play, I should say. And I've never really watched hockey, so yeah, sorry, probably just lost half my audience there. Uh, it's just not a thing over here. As far as I know, there's no ice hockey team here in Ireland. I think there used to be one in Belfast, um, but there you go. I don't think there is anymore. I was into basketball when I was growing up and football, and that's pretty much continued. Anthony says being older, weight over 8 pounds is a deal breaker. What's a deal breaker for you? Yeah, weight can be. I don't like heavier. Let's call it like the ones that start to hit 9.5, 10 pounds. I'm like, oh, come on, is this necessary? Um, for me, let's see, probably other deal breakers. Um, at the moment, I'm very much, and I have been for the last few years. I think I just don't like not dark back, but like black backs. Don't know what that's about. But like I want to see the wood. I want to see the wood grain on the back. I want to see that it's, a vibrant piece of wood and not just paint everywhere. I'm not a big fan pretty much of solid colors. I like to see the wood grain or something, underneath. I don't like seeing things. They're not deal breakers for me though. Honestly, there's not many deal breakers I do have on guitars. It's just more about how it plays than anything else. Yeah, but it's an interesting question that Anthony poses there, guys. What are your deal breakers when it comes to guitars? I'm sure some of you will mention some that I'll be like, yeah, that's a deal breaker for me too. So let me know what you're thinking there. And I'll try and think of some ones because I know I have some, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Grandpa Joe says, finally got home listening while driving. Dave, you're correct. I have 4 Gibsons. However, I've always seemed to go back to my Epiphones. I like them better. Very cool. Yeah, Grandpa Joe, that's the way it is. Gibsons are there, Epiphones are there. It's funny how many people will reach out for the Epiphones before the Gibsons. I was definitely one of those people who said that Epiphone's better than the Gibson I have because I had the Gibson SG Special and the Epiphone SG Special. The Epiphone was like the Gibson went in its case and was kind of hidden away because I loved that Epiphone. Still love that Epiphone so much. So that's just how it is. It's just how it goes. And we definitely agree on that. So yeah, I think Epiphones are pretty cool in a minute. Muddy H2O, sir, with the 4th super chat of the evening. Thank you so much. It's very humbling. Thank you very much. We need more thumbs up. 19 thumbs up isn't enough to fill the hole. Oh, and Harley Benton or something. It's true. It's true. We can always use more thumbs up. And thank you, sir. Appreciate it so much. And yeah, there we go. We got one more like. We're on 20. So thanks for the pimping out of the like button. I appreciate that. Because I could do a better job of that. Hit that like button, dudes, and hit the subscribe. It's possible you're watching now and can't comment. Why can you not comment? Because you got to be subscribed for at least 60 seconds before you can comment on the live stream. So if you are here and you haven't hit that live stream or that subscribe button, that's why. So make sure you do that. John says, I started as a life coach and then I knew how to shop for the best of anything. Hence Harley Benton. Harley Bentons are cool, but yeah, life coaches are cool too. Although I've never worked with one. I probably should get on that, to be honest. Marja, I'm not sure exactly what the process is, but the guy it's made for kept referring to it as gun oil finish and oiled. That's a Jackson. Probably just their name for Fender like. Interesting, yeah. Anthony says, I turned 59 this month. Very cool. Well, happy birthday to you, Anthony. Let us know when that happens. Yeah, I think there's a few of us who have April birthdays. I think this came up before. So, it's great to be born in April. It's probably the best month to have your birthday, I believe. But only if you're a Taurus. So, towards the end of the month, because that makes you something. It's a thing. that for some reason I keep getting told I have traits of. That's a very Taurus trait. All right. Apparently sleeping and eating are two traits of Tauruses. So don't know what the rest of you guys get up to, but let me see. Al says, I wish I would turn 59, you little puppy. Al, you know what? It's my sister, who is older than me, says age is just a number. So yeah, although my knees do not feel that. My knees feel like age is very much more than a number. But that's because I spent too much time messing around on a basketball court when I was a kid, and and a 20-year-old, and so on, and running on roads that were, not meant for my knees. Anyway, long story short, Chord Dave has two very bad knees. Glenn says, I ended up missing the notification on the HB which Harry Benton video. I usually get notification, but almost missed your last video. Oh wow, yeah. I think, look, I'll be honest with you, Glenn, I think YouTube is kind of not hiding my channel, but I'm just not getting the regular push that I have been. The channel's been very slow the last month or two. So it's not growing in the last month or so as it had been, and it's not getting, I can see on my end, the notifications are not going out as much. I'm not getting as many impressions. So I think and this happens. Sometimes YouTube slows down a channel. Sometimes they speed it up. So what will happen is at some point over the summer, I'll get a video that'll just explode for no reason. And then the next video will do crap in comparison. And I don't know why it does it, why they do it, because, like, for example, I had a video last year that just in a week just blew up, 30,000 views in a week, and added 1,000 subscribers to the channel in a week because of that video. And the next video went out, got like 300 views. It's like YouTube just messes with us small creators. I don't know why they do it. But yeah, part of what they do there is you won't get your notifications. And I put out a video thinking, everyone's going to watch my video. I have 5,000 subscribers. I'll get 1,000 to 2,000 views easy. And then I get like 100. And then it makes me say, well, what's the point? So, so it's very weird how YouTube works. I don't understand it. And if anyone from YouTube wants to ever reach out and tell us why they do stuff like that, that'd be cool. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But listen, the thing is, I'll definitely always put a video up on Monday to that guitar wish list, which, as I said, is a very small number of people watch that one, but I like doing them, so they're still going to go out every Monday. And then a video will go up on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Now, this week's video went up on Friday because of technical issues, but that got sorted. My SD card, I don't know if it's damaged, but I needed to use a different one. So eventually, what normally takes me like 5 minutes to do, to import the video to my computer, it took me like 3 hours on Thursday. And I was like, screw this, I'm not editing a video now 3 hours after. So I went to bed, went to work, finished up the edit after work on Friday, and put it up then. So yeah, hopefully you'll get notifications though. And if anyone else hasn't noticed they're not getting notifications, please just make sure you hit the notification bell. Choose all notifications for this channel, because the more people have that turned on, the more people the videos will get shown to. It won't just be like, you'll be helping the channel by having that turned on. So if you can, anything like that really does help. William says the big 6-0 in 3 months. Very cool. Yeah, it's just what, 240 months away for me. So yeah, very, very cool. William, I'm sure you can pop by and drop into us and we'll say happy birthday. Absolutely. But that's very cool. Let me see. Scott says, Jag, I'm waiting on a 24-inch. That's the shortest I've ever had for Jaguar. And SB says, yes, I can't get guitar nitro paint, so I'll melt ping pong balls with acetone to make the orange nitro tint that the old pine tellies have. And I would never even attempt to do anything like that. Wouldn't have the skills, but good on you. That's very cool. That's very cool that you would do that. Glenn says he turns 58 on the 28th, but I still have the mind of a juvenile. Gloria. Oh. um, yeah, you see, Glenn, you're making me worried because I thought once I hit 40, that's when the maturity will kick in. But it hasn't so far. And 40, like, as is 2 weeks away. And now you're making me think it's not going to kick in on my birthday. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to remain immature and laughing at things in work appointments and meetings that are very inappropriate to laugh at. And everyone's like, why is he laughing? It's like, because you said a word that's very inappropriate. Anyway. Thankfully, the word glory hole or words glory and hole don't come up too often in my work because I would crack up laughing. Shave the cheeks and trim the stash. Done. For who should shave the cheeks and trim the stash? I don't know. Not me, that's for sure. I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't know. Someone last week told me not to, but it's not good. Beard's not going anywhere. Although the stash might need a bit of darkening up. Still don't know why that happens, but anyway. Marcia says, see, my question is how long you all wait to decide it's time to sell. How long you don't play it before you say that, especially when you own a whole bunch of guitars. How long? It's interesting because, as I said, like with the Nighthawk, I knew instantly I wasn't going to play it much. So I was like, well, I'll just send it back. Best thing to do. Someone else will love it. Sometimes, like the two I have now, the contemporary Telecaster, that was a tough decision. I was saying for weeks I was going to sell it. I was like, I'm going to sell it. And then I pick it up and go, oh, but it's cool though. And I was lusting after it before I had it. I was like, I really want one of those. So it can vary. I think it just varies guitar to guitar. I've known for a long time I'm not super in love with the Muse as a guitar I want to own. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I got to play with it. I'm glad I had it for a while. Have it about a year now, and I really think someone will absolutely love that guitar. But for me, it's not the Les Paul that's going to excite me. I have my eye on one. I have my eye on two that I think will be the one that'll stay in my collection long term. But yeah, the Muse is a great guitar. It's just not the right one for me. And I think it probably took me that whole year to figure that out. But I've tried to sell it at the end of last year as well. So, and then took it down because I was like, nah, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it. So yeah, it varies. Can be instant, can be 3-4 months. It could be years. No real set time. But I also will give myself any excuse to keep a guitar, unless I just hate it out of the box. Al says, my wife keeps telling me to grow up. So did my ex. Yeah. Yeah. You're supposed to know that that's not what we do. Al says, I have guitars with Pau Ferro, conditioning it with lizard spit, and it darkens it. Looks great. Very cool. Muddy H2O says, waiting on the greatest name on YouTube shirt. As I think we'll have to find out when your birthday is and put it on for that. So it's probably what'll happen. But yeah, this new special edition will be out on the 27th. Don't worry. The Freebird special edition, this one will be replaced the following day. So maybe the greatest name on YouTube will be the replacement. We'll see. Might do a vote for special edition t-shirt as well if you guys are interested in that. Might just throw one up randomly. So we'll see. Marge says you can wear the TCD shirt as a bandana, or maybe we need underwear. I don't think I want you guys having TCD underwear. I don't know. We can make Dave the first guitar YouTuber to sell undies as merch. Yeah, I don't know how comfortable I am walking around with Chord Dave underwear out there in the world. That's just made me ponder. Anyway, thanks, Marcia. That's just going to haunt my nightmares for a long time. That's it. Money comes off my shirt. No rolls Saturday. Off comes my shirt. All right, great. So we got a load of topless people watching the show. Good to know. I mean, we're all inclusive around here. If I wasn't presenting the show, I probably would be too. If it wasn't for the fact it would scare all the people away. Uh, if I, because I'm on camera and stuff. Anyway, but he says, I'm down for some TCD chaps. Again, nightmares. Love to all, but I don't know. This is not what I intended when I started selling merch. Dennis Flock says, cheers all, it's supper time. Chicken hot off the grill. Enjoy the chicken, Dennis. Hope you have a good evening. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. And the glass cutter's out. Muddy, I gotta say, you're a funny guy. I like it. Uh, Al says the E string is very close. Went to a tech who said he couldn't do anything with the neck. On occasion, the string fell out of the edge. Requires fingertip press, not the pad. I'm getting used to it. Well, look, that's the thing. Sometimes you get used to it. Guitars sometimes just need that extra bit of bonding time. Yeah, look, glad you're getting used to it. And it's a very enviable guitar to have. I mean, yeah, those are very cool. Marsh says, I guess we don't have a no shirts, no shoes, no TCD sign here. Dave, TCD pops up no matter, all inclusive around here. It's all good. For sure. Cushman NYC says, hey Dave, and hey all. Good to see you, Cushman. Nice of you to pop by. Thanks for stopping. I hope you're doing well. And Anthony says, that salty Bahama air would be brutal on your guitars. That's a good point. Yeah. Damn it. I'll have to give up the whole house in the Bahamas dream then. It's just as well because it would take a lot of merch sales to pick up that house. But definitely at some point, warmer climate will have to be found. But yeah, maybe not the salty Bahama air. We'll see. I actually have very little knowledge about the Bahamas, so that's a good point though. Actually, because I was talking to someone about moving to a different country at one point. I was like, how would I get my guitars there? Would I just like load up the car, drive over, because Europe, with the guitars in the back and no other luggage? Probably. This is the most important thing to bring with me anyway. Marcia says I'd be fine with that trade-off. Yeah, I mean, acclimatize them in their, I know, guitar room or somewhere. Scott says, I hope the Epiphone Batwing comes back. A Wildcat for me too, but not the Uptown version. Yeah, I like the Uptown versions. But the was it the Royale Wildcat or Wildcat Royales? Those were my favorite ones that they did. The Batwings would be great. Yeah, it'd be cool to see those come back. They might do them. I I don't have any recollection of anyone saying anything recently, but as it like my Gibson information has been completely wrong this year, so it doesn't mean anything really. They could pop along with one next week, and I just wouldn't know about it yet. Epiphone Cornet is intriguing, not immediately on the list, but yeah, they're, I don't know, they're interesting. As you say, I don't think they're immediately on the list, but they're definitely interesting. Um, but yeah, I think there'd be a lot of guitars I'd pick up before that one. But I like that they brought them back. I think that's a cool move. Glenn says, yes, Muddy, thumbs up for the glory. Let's hit let's hit the like button and subscribe. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Muddy likes the look of the Coronet as well. Very cool. Marcia, I noticed the channel growth has kind of stalled. WTF, YouTube. Yeah, it's just goes up and down. It's so weird. And there's just not to turn this into a how to grow on YouTube channel, but it's just so frustrating. You do everything right and everything they say, and you follow all the steps, and keep up with all the information, do all the things right, and then and even things like the number of people who watch videos on my channel all the way through is really high. Like, you guys are kicking ass on the channel. A lot of you watch the videos from start to finish, which is they say, YouTube specifically say, that's the best thing for your channel. And it's really gone up. I think I've been mentioning it, like the best thing you can do is watch a video from start to finish. And it's really like, I can see a chart that shows me that the number of people watching all the way to the end of the video is up. And it doesn't really seem to make a difference. So look, it's fine. It'll turn a corner at some point and it'll shoot up and it'll do well. It's just at the moment it's in a valley, and that's just this is where we are. So it's fine. It'll take off again, but it's just frustrating when you're in that moment. You would think after like over 2 years, YouTube would just be like, fine, you can just take off now. That's good. But no, they don't. Muddy H2O says, David, talk to me about the 50k Scala V's. Or should I say, talk me off the ledge? Yeah, well, Muddy, to talk about them for a moment. They're cool. They're very cool. When I saw them, I was like, this is the kind of stuff that I would break the bank for. Gonna sound absolutely stupid, but I have saving for a down payment on a house, which would give me enough to buy a luxury guitar if I wanted to. And I shouldn't use it for that. Obviously, that would be reckless and immature and stupid, but it's the kind of thing I would do. And I saw those guitars and I didn't know how much they were. And I was like, if those are 10 grand, I could be tempted. Maybe I'd have to be talked off the ledge, like you're saying there. But for 50 grand, I think they're not. I just couldn't do it, man. The what's the one that there's only one of those? I don't think that's 100 grand or 50 grand. I think that's 100. Those are great guitars. They're cool. Although I will say, I don't think the V with just a bridge pickup works. I want my two pickups in my flying V. So to talk you off the ledge on it, that for me would be a deal breaker on a flying V. One pickup doesn't work for me. But everything else about them is very cool. Leo Scala is a very, very cool guitar builder. I'm not surprised they did something with him. At the same time, I'm surprised he agreed to do something with them. And I'm surprised they did just 10 guitars, because they could have sold a few hundred easily. But anyway, don't do it. Unless you really, 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 really want to. Or don't. But do if you want to. I'm sorry. I'm not good at telling people not to buy guitars. Chris says, I'm 49 and downhill mountain biking has aged me well. So did 20 years of dirty rock and roll gigs and falling off the stage from time to time. Yeah. Falling off stage from time to time will age you significantly, I'm sure. Yeah. Downhill mountain biking, that'll age your knees as well. So a couple of years ago, before pandemic times, went on a hike in a place called Glendalough in Ireland. It was beautiful. It was great getting up there, and then coming down the mountain. It's not really a mountain, but they're coming down the hill, the very large hill. Was torture. There was these steps kind of, and they were made for people who had good knees. They didn't really take it. What I needed was a slide. So that's what they should do when you go on a hike. You hike all the way up, that's great, and then you get a slide all the way to the bottom. So if people could work on that, that'd be great. Anyway, rolling on. YouTube doesn't like Dave, clearly. YouTube likes me sometimes. Sometimes I do really well on YouTube. Sometimes I just don't. It's fine. But it was going along nicely, actually. It kicked along pretty nicely like most of last year, and then hit 5,000, and that's when it kind of went 5,000. Let's slow down a little bit. But yeah, like I mentioned, like 1 week last year, it grew by 1,000 subs in a week, and that was phenomenal. And also that was the best month I ever had on YouTube in terms of monetization. It was great. I made a lot of money. I say I made a lot of money. I made a few hundred euros, which is more than I made any other month. So yeah, it was. YouTube's it's just a weird game. Like, as I said, next week I could turn around and be like, guys, videos I put out last week took off. And sometimes weird videos, like video from 3 months ago, will just get like a couple of thousand views in a day for no reason that I can tell. So I don't think YouTube dislikes me. It's just forgotten I exist. And it'll remember soon. It's fine. Might get a birthday bump. That'd be fun. Um, Muddy says I blame that knick-knack pusher Bonamassa. Yeah, he might have control over guitar YouTube. Actually, that's a very good point. Hmm. He knows I love him though, right? Somebody told him. No. All right, never mind. Badfink 2 says, greetings, fellow rockers. Badfink, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so cool to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, listen, super glad to have you back. So thanks for stopping by. Chris says, going to get a bud of weed and take a hit of the glass saxophone. BRB, you awesome. Enjoy. Let's see what we've got here. Mar says, and a certain other guitar YouTuber whose name we haven't yet mentioned today. True. Don't know. I was like, what YouTuber? Oh yeah, that one. I'll keep checking your channel regularly so don't miss any bits. Thanks, Glenn. Absolutely appreciate that. For sure, check it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's usually when the videos go up. Tuesdays or Thursdays. I usually set them to go out at 1 a.m. Irish time. So actually 1 a.m. on the Wednesday and the Friday. That's usually the time, Irish time, that they go out. So that's usually, I think, around 8. Yeah, around 8 p.m. Eastern time in the US, I think. So, but again, time zones mess me up a little bit. Anyway, William says, milk and bed after this. Well, I'll be finishing my beer that I barely get to touch during the live stream, and then bed straight away after that. And yeah, but it's a very strange ritual I have when I finish up the show here. Finish my beer, go to bed. Maybe it's not that weird. It feels weird to me. Muddy says to Marsha, it's almost time to mention that YouTuber. Exactly. Marsha says, nice to let Dave lull you to sleep. Well, that is my goal in this channel, is to become an ASMR person on the channel. Go to sleep. Get like feel good and stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Could the microphones pick it up? Hopefully. Anyway, yeah, not gonna do that much. Grandpa Joe says, with all this age talk, who here is over 65? Not yet, but at some stage, hopefully, I will be. And Batfink 2 says, Dave, I'm 59, but still act like a knob at times. Don't we all, Batfink? Don't we all? But I think we mentioned earlier. I think Glenn had mentioned it, that he's still immature at his age, and I was like, damn it, that means I'm going to stay immature till that age. So, yep, I'm on board with that. It's all good. Scott says, ping pong balls. What ventilation may be needed for that? I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Anything with nitro. I think that was what that was brought up in relation to, was nitro. You need good ventilation with as well. So yeah, if you remember, actually, where's my nitro gone? I had some for painting guitars, by the way, or finishing them. I don't know. Maybe it's out in the. Actually, just I have no idea where it is. Anyway, yeah. Thanks, guys, by the way, for saying hello and greeting Batfink 2 back to the channel. It's been a while since he's been here, and it's great to see him back. Super glad to have him back on the channel, on the live stream. Maturity after 40. What was the question again? You lost me after maturity. Absolutely, Glenn. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that's what happened. You hit 40, you became mature. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I remember driving my dad crazy when he was about 35, asking him what it was like to be 40. And he got pissed off at me eventually. He was like, I'm not 40. And now I'm like, oh shit, now I know what that would feel like. Ah, well. So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird getting older. Like, why is that a thing? It just reminds me of that Friends episode where Joey was complaining because he's like, Why God? Why make us older? So it's kind of how I feel sometimes. Anyway, Muddy H2O with yet another super chat, sir. You're too kind. You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It really does. And you were saying, I agree with you about the Scalas. They need the neck pickup and a mailbox number 4 decal to separate me from my money. Oh, and a Geek Lord or something. Yeah, Geek Lord. Special edition t-shirt coming soon. I mean, that's a secret plan you're not supposed to know about, but anyway, I just got to get his logo design and then change it. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Can I do that? Can YouTubers sue other YouTubers? I don't know, probably. Anyway, no publicity is bad publicity, right? But thank you so much, Muddy H2O. Honestly, it's super kind of you. Thank you so much. The 2 guitars I just got rid of, I had for 3 years. Sometimes the debate in your head takes a while before you feel like moving on from it. Glenn, that's 100%. Yeah, yeah. Like that's the Squire Telecaster. Like for weeks I've been saying I should list that for sale. And last Saturday on the live stream, I was like, okay, I'm going to list them for sale tomorrow. And then I didn't do it until yesterday because I was like, ugh, I don't want to. So was it yesterday? Maybe it was today I listed them. I can't remember, but sometime in the recent past they got listed. They're up there. And Scott says lightning is screwing with your interwebs. Well, take care. Hopefully you will not get disconnected. But yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, it's always fun watching a light show from lightning. Best lightning I ever saw. Bon Jovi concert. I can't even remember the song, but John dropped to his knees right on the last note. Lightning just fucking hit the stage at the same time. It just lit up the whole sky. It was pretty cool. And a venue called the RDS here in Dublin. And yeah, not even a big Bon Jovi fan. I was just there because I got a free ticket. So I was like, I could go to a gig. Yeah, why not? Cool. So that was fun. Yeah, it was a pretty impressive. It was almost like they planned it, but obviously they didn't. Marcia says, you bet, Dave. That's what I'm here for. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here for that. Badfink says, what about those ugly Mozzie copy guitars by Harley Benton? I'd mod them with a flamethrower. These ones? You think they're ugly? Come on, dude. They're not my cup of tea. But yeah. But the Mosrites never were either. And I actually meant to bring these up before now in the stream. Yeah, they look like I can see their appeal to people. They're not for me, to be honest. I've never been a big Mosrite guitar, like the Ventures models and stuff, Venture 2. Even the Johnny Ramone one I wasn't that interested in. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with them. A lot of people are going to mod the crap out of them. Flamethrowers, I'm not so sure is a regular mod though. Might be a tricky one for a lot of people to pull off. But yeah, I think so far what I've seen is a lot of people split. Some people saying that, like yourself, the ugly copies, and other people saying these are awesome. When are they available? It's like they're already selling out, dude. So yeah, the Mosrite copies, I like that they're doing it because people want them, so why not? But I can think of a certain guitar channel that's not a big fan of them. You might know which one I'm talking about. Begins with a C and has an Asino in it as well. Anyway, Baffink, good for smashing on stage or at home for that matter. I mean, yeah, if you want to smash a $250 to $350 guitar, they're good ones for that. They'll probably do the job. Glenn says, Dave, get that TCD underwear line out before Gibson files a lawsuit for infringement of their new line. Damn the guitars of full speedo ahead. That's actually pretty funny because that's what would happen. I don't know. I mean, if this conversation had happened 2 weeks ago, I would have had the April Fool's Day video ready to go, and the link would have taken you to nowhere. But yeah, but then speaking of April Fool's Day, I think I mentioned it last week. I was this close because you guys know I left my job with Apple and I joined a new company, but I haven't told you guys anything about my new job. And I was gonna say my new job is at Gibson, and I wonder what any of you have for a moment considered. Oh my God, Dave's actually working for Gibson. I doubt many of you would, to be quite honest, but I think it would have been the best April Fools I could have done. In the end, I was like, they're not gonna go for it, so I didn't do it. But that's what I was thinking of, by the way. I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not sure. Um, Batting says, Scott, or knocking walls down when renovating your home. Yeah, I mean, Harley Bentons are pretty versatile. Right? You could do that with them, I suppose. um, good stuff, Badfink. I like that you haven't lost any of your humor, and you brought it straight back to us. We missed it. We did. We definitely missed it. Just in case you're wondering, the glory holes is still a thing on the channel. You might have seen that. They're being kept alive. So just in case you've missed that while you were away. Scott Bogfoot says, the old Wildcat is a chambered mahogany body, half-inch bigger than the LP. The Uptown is built like an ES. It's basically a small Emperor swingster. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the older style ones are better. They're the ones that I was talking about that I'd prefer. I like the newer ones, the Uptown ones. I do like them, but it's the older Wildcats were the ones that I always wanted. And hopefully someday we'll add to collection because they've got the bikini headstock or logo on the headstock and everything. I like them a lot. So yeah, very, very cool for that. Yeah, I think they're my favorite Epiphone model. Anyway, Ernie B, nice to see you, Ernie. Late as usual, say hit the like and share. Dave with Greg World. Always, thanks as always, Dave. Nice to see you, Ernie. Thanks for stopping by. It's super cool to see you. John says the bouncer threw me out, but I'm back. Well, glad you're back, John. Thanks for popping by once again. Scott doesn't think the Harley Bentons are that useful that they could knock down walls. But then Badfink says, for unclogging the toilet. I think they might cause a clog in the toilet, actually. But I get what you're saying. Get what you're saying. Cushman NYC, I'm gassing for an SG. Yeah, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. Even though I have an SG I love, I can't stop looking at a couple of them. What are your thoughts on Maestro vibrolas? Kind of want one on an SG. So that's what I'm looking at SG wise at the moment. Very heavily. So yeah, I get it. SGs are great. Nothing wrong with gassing for one of them. And probably will cause me much consternation over the next few years, the gassing for SGs. Are there any guitars made from MDF? I hope not, but probably school projects and stuff. I knew a guy actually, when I was in school, he made a guitar for his exam class because we had a practical exam for woodwork and you had to make something. One guy made a snooker table. Yeah, I think one guy made a snooker table. I made because I was I only did woodwork in a junior cycle. So in the senior cycle, you got to make the big cool stuff. So the senior person in his, he made the snooker table, and then there was a guy made a full on super extremely deluxe guitar in his. And then what else? I made a music award in mine. It was 97, so it had like 1997 on the front of it in big carved out letters, numbers, and was very cool. And it got a special mention in the reviewing. But did I pass? I think I passed. I don't know. But yeah, I think MDF would have been used in my school for a lot of projects like that. If someone wanted to make an electric guitar, they threw MDF at everything. But I hope no production guitars are made with MDF. Glenn says, don't mention Geek Lord. For anyone new to the channel or has been away from the channel for a bit, Geek Lord is a very popular YouTuber who talks about guitars. puts out a video every day and talks about does Mod Shop review and the Reverb demo shop from Gibson reviews, and then does a series called Would You Rock or Not? So you might know who it is from that. We decided just not to use the name anymore because it was coming up too often. Anyway, William is here. William Alexander says, good evening to everybody. Late to the party. Better late to the party than not at the party. Anyway, nice to see you, William. Thanks for dropping by. John says Aries rock, but I mean, I think you're biased, and I think I'm not biased by saying Tauruses are the best. So there you go. Scott says, after this, I'm up to my buddy's studio to record rock songs with nursery rhymes lyrics. Interesting. Very interesting. Al says, I wish I was 65, you little puppy. All right, you can't say that to everyone, Al. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. Badfink has fired straight back in with, did you hear the band Captain Squidly and the Sea Bunnies? Yeah, they're one of my favorites. I've been listening to them for years. No, I haven't, to be quite honest with you. But I'll keep an eye out for them. For sure. It's so great to have you back. Badfink says, thanks, Dave. That's kind. We need a group hug, but rock and roll style. Absolutely. Rock and roll group hugs. I feel like that means we're all drunk. And yeah, no worries there. Mystery Kahalubi says, hey, Mr. John here wants to know what make of guitar Kurt Hammett played between 92 and 93. He probably played a lot of guitars between 92 and 93, but this is not a trivia quiz, so I don't have a specific answer for you. If you're looking for a specific guitar, you could probably ask what it is if you're not sure. But I don't know off the top of my head what he would have played. I know. John's 62. We only get old on the outside. That's for sure. David Ruiz is here. Says, greetings, everyone. Glad to see you, David. Thanks for stopping by. Badfink, just strap a nice electric guitar on. It automatically makes you look cooler and younger. That's very true. That is very true. See, nice electric guitars. This is what I always say. It's the go-to. Electric guitars are the best. Sure. Colin, repeating the question. You already asked that there, pal. You might want to check with John if there's a specific one he's curious about. But yeah, not so sure. Glenn says, hey, all, hit that like button. Very true. Hit that like button. It's essential. Muddy says, David, did you see the pictures of Mustaine playing a custom version of his V? I did. And I was like, what is that he's playing? I don't know how interested I am in it. But yeah, I know there's more Mustaines coming. I think we're going to see him in the summer at the NAMM show. And I think there's three. There's three more coming. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, he's got one, and Adam Jones has a V coming as well. There's a lot of Vs still to come out. Richie Faulkner has one. And who else? There's another one. There's 4 people getting V signatures this year. 3 Chord Dave. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. Anthony says, waiting on an aftermarket custom neck plate to come in the mail. Anybody else put useless parts on your guitar? Useless as in, I mean, not really. I don't really make many modifications to my guitars. I might swap out pickups or something. And a couple of times I've put on strap locks. That's about it. Yeah, so not for me. I'm sure others have. So William Alexander says, I'm 45 and my kids tease me for having the bedroom of a teenager. You're only as old as you feel. Exactly. Yeah, that's, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with keeping all my guitars in my bedroom, especially my favorite ones, and rotating which ones are my favorites. Anyway. Al says, I came across another channel playing trade guitars, does a review similar to Geek Lord, but this guy can play. I did a tour of Gibson Factory too. He doesn't review as many as Les Pauls. Yeah, Playing Trade Guitars. I've been watching them for about a year or so. I think once that, I think that's when the Gibson tour came out and they did them in stages. They did like episodes with them coming out. Very cool. Channel, all right. Like to stop by. I know once they hit 50,000 subscribers, I don't know how many they have now, but once they hit 50,000 subscribers, they're giving away a very cool Les Paul Custom in a green that I think is very, very attractive. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's a very cool channel. Yeah, Playing Trade Guitars. I like them a lot. And Al also says, with Geek Lord, seems just another Les Paul. He's very heavy on the Gibson. Very heavy on the Gibson. But as I think I mentioned before, it's because Gibson gets you views and Fender gets you views, and at the moment Harley Benton gets you views. Yeah, so if you're really trying to push your channel, Epiphone, Gibson, Fender, Squier, that's what'll get you more views than more boutique brands. You can see that with my guitar wish list videos. The ones that are Gibsons or Fender, there's only one Fender. The ones that are Gibson or Epiphones get more views than the ones that are lesser known brands, like the National guitar from a few weeks ago. That didn't do as well as most of the Gibson ones on it, and like that series has a very low viewership anyway, and I'm fine with that. As I said, like those are 5-minute videos I pump out just for myself more than anything. So I'm not complaining about that, and I think the people who will find those videos over time will really enjoy them because there's, you know, they're interesting guitars in some of them. But Gibson, put Gibson in the title of a video, you'll get more views than if you have, I don't know, G and L. So I understand why he does it, to be quite honest. William says, did you already discuss Casino Guitars video about the 27 Club and how full of clickbait BS it was? I didn't, and I was wondering if it had come up. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the video because I saw the thumbnail and I was like, why are you making a video about that? And you guys know I really like Casino Guitars. I think in recent times they maybe are having a creative block where they're trying to come up with things to talk about on their channel, and they're coming up with things that I don't think they should be talking about. But hey, if you're a guitar channel, you can talk about music sometimes and musicians. It doesn't tend to work out that well for me, so I don't do it. But when it comes to the 27 Club, it's not a great topic. It's a sad one, and it's like all the channels who put out, and I know, look, I know the intention was in the right place, but a lot of people put out a lot of videos about Taylor Hawkins recently, and it's like, I didn't like seeing it, and I especially didn't like people saying, hey, Taylor was my friend, and there was like 4 ads on their video. So you're just making money off the fact the guy died. He couldn't have been that good a friend. So, and that's nothing to do with Casino Guitars, but yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact it was there. I didn't watch it because I was like, I don't agree with making videos about that sort of thing. But yeah, I thought it was clickbaity. That's why I didn't click it. But sometimes, and come back to YouTube, you sometimes have to make clickbaity videos to get some growth on YouTube. And as you can tell at the moment, from what I've talked about today, I don't tend to do it myself as much as I used to, or as much as I have, or I don't tend to really think about it too much. But it's necessary, I think, if you want to keep your channel on the uptick. And it's just, I think you got to be careful with the topics you pick. But I love Casino Guitar. I think they make some great videos. I really enjoy watching them a lot of the time. I'll probably watch that video, but I can tell already I'm not going to like it. So it's interesting. I'll be interested to see how they approach it from purely a content creator's point of view. But you won't be seeing a 3-Chord Dave 27 Club video at any time. As long as I'm making the videos. Anyway, so Bad Thing says, it gives me a glorious feeling to think of the reverence your viewers still have for glory holes. it's the new people I worry about coming in and being like, I like this channel. I'll go and check out Chord Dave Live. And then why are they talking about glory holes all day? If you're a new person, I promise you, it's about Steel Panther. I promise you. Gotta get tickets for that show, that tour. Gotta. I don't know. I don't think they're coming to Ireland actually. Oh well. Geek Lord has done a bunch of Fenders and a few weird sponsored things. What's with the men's balding products, or I forget what else. But I gotta bring in that money, I guess. Has he done balding products? The one that gets me is the cereal. He does sponsorship for cereal. I'm like, what has this got to do? How is that a target market for a guitar channel? I mean, there's nothing against cereal, but I don't get how they were like, you know who we should advertise our product with? This guy who makes guitar videos. It's weird. I've had conversations with companies about sponsoring videos, and eventually I've always gone, I don't think this is the right time or the right channel for you guys. Um, well, there was the one, it was like a guitar company, guitar product company, and I was like, yeah, I'll talk about your stuff, sure. And then they were like, well, we're not sending it to you because you live in Ireland. I was like, okay, God, that's fine. Um, but yeah, these ones, the serial ones he does, and what else? I don't want to say too much because they might approach me and I'd be like, if you're gonna give me enough money, I'll do it. Um, but what was the fun one? What was the other fun one I've seen him do? So there was the cereal. Uh, I don't know. Anyway, as you say, you got to make the money. Sponsorships, most people make more money on sponsorships on YouTube than anything else. That's where it all is. So if you can get them, get them. Scott says the gold bikini nameplate on the headstock seems to be on the most desirable Wildcats. The later ones were white. Yeah, I like the white ones. I like the white bikini nameplate. I think that's the coolest one. Um, if I was picking one up, that's what I'd look for. Al says, as much as I love Les Pauls with Geek Lord, it just gets boring. I think he did an Explorer with a Union Jack on it this week. I've seen that video a lot. But as an Irish person, I could never play that, of course, because get in trouble. But yeah, it's although he had it tagged with Noel Gallagher. Noel Gallagher didn't play an Explorer with a thing, did he? It was like a 335. I thought anyway, it's all good. Marshall wants to know, why did you feel the 27 video was clickbait? And I saw the 27. Al says he saw the 27 video, thought it was good. And William says, Marsha, because a lot of people weren't 27 when they died. Interesting to see who they talked about. And then Al says he thinks they were. So, user Marilyn Monroe picked James Dean was 24 when he died, etc. Oh, okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, poor old James Dean. Rebel Without a Cause, one of the greatest films. It's one of my favorite films. Glenn Bailey says, group hug. I might be topless, but I'm not that drunk yet. I like that you put yet. That's reassuring. It's like, we'll get there. We'll get there. Al says Marilyn was 36, so I stand corrected. And Scott asking a question that is not going to be possible to answer in probably in this live stream, because it technically has 6 minutes left. Your opinion on the greatest rock band from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. With those last two, I probably won't know. Has music been still produced in that time? I don't think it has. Not according to my Spotify playlists. 70s, Zeppelin. Or Thin Lizzy, or probably Zeppelin would be the greatest. 80s, Guns N' Roses. 90s. See, I like a lot of 90s bands. See, I want to say Nirvana, but I also want to say Pearl Jam, and I also want to say Soundgarden. I don't know, Pearl Jam. Let's say Pearl Jam because they're still going. Um, 2000s, I'm going to say Velvet Revolver. It's a bit of a cheat, but there you go. Yeah, I'm not so sure. 2010s, 2020s, I really don't know. Uh, Nobody. Let me know your thoughts. Al says, I'm a 70s fan all my time after school and before. That was my time after school and before marriage. And Allman Brothers. And Money H2O with yet another super chat. Super generous of you, sir. Thank you so much. Um, he says, this episode of Three Chord Dave was brought to you by Glorious Cereal. Thanks. Super kind of you, Muddy. Honestly, you are way too kind to myself. It's really appreciated, but really, you go above and beyond. Thank you so much for that. Muddy H. does also say, Allman Brothers is certainly one of my favorite bands ever. John has piped in and he says the 70s Zeppelin, 80s Stevie Ray, the 90s Tool, interesting shout, 2000 Bonamassa, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, if I had time to think about that, I'd probably give different answers for like the 90s and the 2000s and maybe even get a 2010s answer out of it as well. This will keep me awake like 5 in the morning. Al says, YouTube brought up one of your videos from last year, your review of the Harley Benton 335. Do you still have that guitar? You had hair on top. Yeah. My brother got recommended that video yesterday. He had YouTube up on the TV, he was scrolling it through and that video came up. So that's a great point, Al. You are there in the US, my brother is here in Ireland, and so that video is getting a bit of a pump for some reason. I do not still have that guitar. No, I sold it last summer. I believe it went to someone in the US, I think in Boston. Bought it. So yeah, that shipped out last year. Yeah, I look weird with the hair now. I feel like when I see myself with the hair on top, I'm like, who's that weird looking fella? But anyway, thanks for letting me know that. It's so weird that happens. Like a video from a year ago popping up. There you go. Let's see. Muddy says TCD is strictly the glory hole club. No clickbait. Absolutely no clickbait. Glenn says it's all the Allman Brothers and Stevie Ray Vaughan outdoor show, Merriweather Post Pavilion, Maryland, USA. Dang it. Get to see some pretty cool shows, Glenn. You've told us of a few of them you've seen that are awesome. So yeah, good for you, man. That's awesome. Glenn says, I see My Chemical Romance is doing a tour. I think I'm busy that day. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Anyway, just never got into them. Don't know why. John says, okay, since this isn't going away, I'm going to say it. Glenn, I hope they record new music too, for My Chemical Romance. There you go. I wouldn't eat that cereal if you paid me. Well, maybe, but only if I was paid to. There you go. Glenn says, don't do it, John. John says, where are the auditions for the Glory Hollies? Dave's Pub. I'm going to let someone else answer that one, John. So I'm sure somebody will. It's not for me to say. Bad Thing 2 with Super Chat. Thank you so much, sir. Really great to see you back. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for popping in and joining us. Says Dave, thanks for the kind welcome and shout out. It's nice to be missed. I'll have to vanish more often. No, don't vanish. Come back. Stay a while. We have missed you quite a bit. You were mentioned quite often on the streams, so we have missed you, and it is great to see you back. We're super glad to see you, I think. So yeah, It was super cool. And thank you so much for super chat. That honestly, they all mean a lot. Thanks a million, guys. Appreciate that. Um, yeah, John. Sorry, don't know where those auditions are taking place. I think Glenn's organizing them. Glenn, I want to help John out there. Marshall says cereal is tasty. Makes crumbs on guitar, and then you sponsor guitar cleaning products. That's a very, very good link right there. That's probably what's happening. Uh, Ernie says the cereal sponsorship thing drives me nuts. I can hear him chewing and lapping it up. Yeah, I hate the sounds of food eating on videos. I'm not. That's why I'm not into ASMR and stuff like that because they do all those eating things. I hate it. I hate it so much. I think there's a name for people who hate um, the sound of people chewing. What is it like? Legends, something like that. Anyway, was Def Leppard guitar? Was it Def Leppard guitar? Was it not? Um, oh, the Explorer. Yeah, I think it's more that, but he has it. Well, I haven't watched the video, but I saw the hashtags on it were Noel Gallagher, which I thought was weird. Um, or invent a guitar vacuum. Now that is something I can get to work on. Not that I have the skills to, but I could just like get a Dyson and slap 3 chord Dave guitar vacuum on it. That could work. I have stickers. Um, um, remember when songs had chords? Yeah, that was a fun time. I think it was like 1994 when it stopped. Uh, Scott says, thanks, Dave. Great video. Goes by too fast. It does go by fast. Um, yeah, it seems to always just be 12 o'clock here very quickly. John says, I officially promise to never say the term GHs anymore. I swear on my Strat. Wow, big that's a that's a big promise, John. I don't know. It sounds weird for this channel for anyone to say that. I won't hold you to it. It's all good. It's all good. Scott says, I just say AC/DC for all decades. That's a very good point. Yeah. AC/DC. Yeah, you probably could. Good shout. 90s Radiohead. Yeah, I went through a bit of a Radiohead phase in the 90s, all right, like a lot of people. Um, yeah, and it'd be up there for sure. Money, Rollhalloffame, don't forget, it comes with a free hole cutting template in the box. Uh, I mean, you gotta have templates. SB says, gotta go, people. Thanks, Dave and chat. See y'all next week. Much love. Indeed, much love. Right back at you, SB. Thanks for joining us. Money HGO says, glorious. Nice touch. Yeah, I know. I tried my best to pronounce things. Words. Honey Nut Glory O's. Glory O's. Yeah, yes, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it too. I just, as you said, it was a dodge attempt, but you guys wouldn't let me. So that's all good. V Kelly 1975 says, would you have a problem playing a Rory Gallagher signature guitar? No. Would have no problem with that. Yeah, at all. It's actually the one relic guitar that I think I would be like, if it came up, I'd be like, yeah, I'll just buy that. Thanks. But I'm not sure. I mean, like probably Gibson will bring out a Rory Gallagher signature Melody Maker at some point because he played a Melody Maker for a while. So yeah, I absolutely love a Rory Gallagher signature guitar. Glenn Bailey says the 70s Aerosmith. What's going on there? That's all wrong. Let's see. Scott says, thanks, chat. You guys rock. You do indeed. Muddy H.O. says, Honey Nut Glorios. They're magically delicious since he's Irish. Well, thanks. Yeah, I've been told magically delicious is a thing. I'm just going to leave that right there. Anyway, moving on. So lots of love for Batfink too, which is nice to see. Thanks, guys, for sharing that. Yeah, it's great to see Batfink back. And everyone, don't forget to get your 2 shots and a booster. 2 shots of whiskey and a booster being the beer, of course. Indeed, Al. Take care. Glenn says, working on a sign-up sheet for auditions, John. Further details to follow. Keep an eye on the hole for details. Indeed. I don't drink, so will they come after me? They may do. They may do. Anne says, thanks for a great evening. Bye all. Indeed, Anne, thanks for joining us once again. Pleasure to have you here as always. Maybe 2 Coca-Cola and a ginger. There you go. That's the way around it. And lots of good stuff and goodbyes and everything, guys. Listen, it's been great. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thank you to the guys for the super chats. That honestly is amazing and helps me out on the channel and stuff. So it's super cool of you. Thanks so much. Thanks for all the likes and the views and everything. Stick around for more videos on the channel this week. 3 Chord Dave. No, not 3 Chord Dave. Guitar wish list on Monday. Definitely on Monday this week. And every week, and Tuesday or Thursday. Can't guarantee which one, but it will be Tuesday or Thursday this week for a new video as well. I believe we've a new guitar coming out on Tuesday from one of the big companies, so keep an eye out for that video. I might have to make it on Thursday though, so we'll see what happens, but looking forward to it. Hope we see you again next week. Take care, guys, and yeah, be well.